It was a name that was very synonymous with Waikiki. So I was pretty trashed. You know, you hop from one place, 2 o'clock closes down. And don't even look at the camera, really. Yeah, I'm just like,
Nah. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to ShopSpace. I'm your host, Mr. Mariani. My next guest, James Bond himself, told me he was jealous with your mod list. Keeping it real with my boy Neil, although he ruins everything, and we'll get to that later. But welcome to the show.
thanks for having me.
Yeah. So my first question is, when did your passion for cars first start?
When I first started into cars was probably back in high school, like most of us. Um, there's not a lot of, I don't know if I really had a passion for it. You kind of just grow up around people. High school back then was, you know, you found people are about cars. You don't expect to really do stuff to it, but then when you're around people and you see them doing things to their cars or modding it, you know, you kind of want to get involved. And I think back in my days, I guess, since I'm older, um, places like Eurosport and stuff was around, and you know, you start with all the smaller things and little light stuff, you know, the brake flashers and the quick flashing kind of blinkers and
Hey,
stuff.
that's my era.
Yeah. So I mean, I still don't know if I really had a passion for it. It's just something I enjoy. And I like nice things. And I think in Hawaii, a lot of things are just, it's about your car. You're kind of defined with your car in a sense. Like a lot of people are popular and well known for their cars. They may not know you, but they're like, oh, that car. Oh, yeah, okay, I know that guy.
So you would kind of get your influence from like friends or
Basically friends, yeah. You know, you kind of experiment, and you know, one friend does something and then you want to do something, and then it kind of just starts from there.
you know. I remember back in high school, we were like freshmen, and I would always look at the seniors and their Hondas and just be like watching them drive up to school and with their souped up Civics and Integras. What was your first one?
My first car was a 95 Honda Civic Coupe. um I don't know all the letters and stuff now. Everything goes by letters and stuff, like EK or whatever.
EG.
I'm used to
Wait,
like,
I didn't even. I think it's that EJ is the coupe.
I don't even know.
Okay.
Because like
EG is the hatch.
GMWs go by letters and stuff
Yeah.
now. I just know them like back then as like
95 Civic.
Civic EX, DX, LX, or Integra GSRs, and same thing with BMWs, right? I think early 2000s it's like 300 something or 325, and it's like, yeah.
What did you have on it?
I had like so I had the rims. Can't even remember what size. I think back then it was like 17s. I think I might have did like 15s and then 17s. It was about, I think if you had 18s back then, those were pretty big for Civics.
Mm.
I had a fiberglass front bumper, I recall. I forgot what brand it was. I think I was one of the only ones with it. And then I found out later on, I think someone on the Big Avenue or something got it. But apparently there was a mold. It got destroyed. There's only like 3 left.
Wow.
One guy had it in the mainland, and then I know I had one out here. I had that, and you know, you paint your trims and stuff here and there. It wasn't like I don't think I had a full kit of anything. I just had the painted
Stock skirts,
yeah.
stock moldings.
and then just the bumper replacement,
Okay.
headlight replacements.
Tell me about your current build. How did you get into Teslas?
Teslas, I kind of just started looking at it. It was different. I like techie kind of things. So I like how it's gadgety and stuff. It was different. Yeah. Currently it's a 2022 Model Y, long range. It's things I've done to it.
Yeah.
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 So let's go down the list. I have the Agile, the full body kit for it. It's all carbon fiber. We have the carbon fiber cam covers. I got the side mirror covers.
Is this real?
Yeah, it's not the stick-on one. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
placed on.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, I got one of these 21 work MX. I got custom or aftermarket headlights and taillights from Alpha Rex. So my headlights were done by Tesla's Innovations. They do a lot of stuff with the stoplights, but this is the only one that they've done with the Alpha Rex Nova projector lights. So um, there's that. The fogs. I've changed the fogs out a few times. I've currently got like spot version, but it's kind of blackout. But same thing with all the RGBs and stuff.
Why did you opt for a Y instead of a 3? Just curious.
Family, because I have kids. So part of the reason with the Tesla is like over time you do your research. I tend to when I look into stuff, I tweak really hard on it. You learn about safety features and stuff. I'm not really too much into all the politics of um, saving the earth with green and stuff going electric. I never went that way, or that wasn't my reason for getting the car. I think one of the main reasons was it's different, it's techy, and then basically safety.
Okay. I heard the Model Ys are like super good on safety, right?
I hope so.
Are you repping any car crews?
Currently, well, I have a banner on the windshield with Team Ruined,
Okay.
or Ruined TV now. That and just locally with
Meh.
meh. Yeah. Well, we're what Tesla mods Hawaii before, and then we kind of switched it over to modified EV Hawaii or meh. So
I like that.
we did that more for like inclusiveness, which I kind of took from the Ruin group where it used to just be Ruin Tesla and now it's Ruined EV, so that you can kind of open up more because there's other EV cars and stuff. So the group has like Mach E and stuff. Yeah, and
How big is Ruin?
there's a lot of people. There's a handful that are active, and then you have guys that are, I guess, retired or not active anymore. But once you're in, you're in. I don't really say. There's other guys in there with EVs that have been transplanted to different types of ICE cars. So there's a few of them that are in the group too.
Yeah, I talked to Mike with Played Out, and I told him like from what I know, Played Out, like when I was researching, modified Teslas, I would see a lot of Played Out stuff. I would see a lot of Ruin. And Mike said that Ruin is like the OG of the OG and like modifying EV cars. There's like so much division in gas and electric powered cars. What is your take on that?
How much time do you have?
We got time.
Nah, I don't really have much of a take on it. It's pretty like man, a car's a car to me.
That's how I feel.
And again, I think I mentioned earlier, like I'm not here to save the planet and all of that. And there's so many things with comments online and whatever. But I mean, a car's a car. It gets you from point A to point B. Whether it's a transition with electric, whether we'll go all electric, I'm not sure. I don't know if that day will come, but I mean, you're gonna buy a car that you want. Just get what you want. I mean, I wanted this car, so I got it.
Yeah.
If I was really into like strictly electric or gas, then like if I was a gas guy, I would have gone. But I'm neither, so I just wanted something different, new, and Teslas are kind of a new thing, so.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, there's such a big divide. And I think it's because it's good to be on both sides of the spectrum, having own gas, having own electric, but like I don't know, I feel like sometimes gas powered like people that are into gas cars, they just don't like change. Uh, there's just so much that caters to the EV market. And then you look at how brands are switching or, you know, like EV is like a big contender now
Hmm.
that some people don't like change.
I think that's yeah. You kind of hit it on the head with that. I think most of the people that are so adamant about ice cars or gas cars, they don't like change. They don't like seeing something different, and they'll find a way to either bash you or say something just or have their own opinions. So I mean,
I feel like maybe like they might be a little scared that that's what the future is gearing toward.
mhm.
So, what do you think?
It could be. I mean, I can't speak for other people. I can only kind of speak for myself. So, um, I think part of what people don't realize too is that most of us that are in the scene with like modified EVs or just EVs in general, like we all started with gas cars. Unless you're like a young teen, my opinion, I don't think a teen should be having like a Tesla. It's just you got to kind of learn, like the
Start
power of stuff and
Yeah.
whatever. But safety wise, I think a lot of parents are getting their teens Teslas and stuff because it's for the safety factor. But again, with everything else, like everybody's different. Some
Yeah.
teens are more responsible than others, and so
I got mine because the technology. It's like, I mean, I go from a '90s Honda and then I sit inside a Tesla and it's like a freaking iPhone that you can update every so often and you get like new features or just it's crazy. Like we test drove one at Tesla and my wife fell in love with it. Like 5 minutes into driving it, just like wow, technology is crazy nowadays.
it's a fun car. That's basically for me. It's just a fun car. There's a little bit of a learning curve for sure, but like technologies in your cell phones, you can make it how you want it
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
I think, as you know, I think the driving features, there's different options of, you know, one pedal driving or, you can still have it roll and stuff. But I got used to one pedal driving. It's so much easier.
That's how I drive mine.
Same thing with, yeah, it's so weird, right? To not, when I drive my second car, I like with this car, I barely even touch the brakes. I have to touch the brakes to make sure I take off any stuff from the rotors
Yeah.
more than if anything.
I know a lot of people like my mother-in-law, like they drive the Tesla and they let off the gas, they're just like kind of shocked, like
Yeah.
What
Well,
the
it's
hell?
what's the term, like feathering, right?
Yeah.
It's basically you need to feather off, and each time you're coming off, it's like think of it like you're braking. So it takes a little getting used to. I think when I first I test drove this out in Colorado because I was living in Colorado at the time, and um, my other half was with me, and it was really jerky, and that was kind of a selling point too. Like I, I'm might get a little car sick. I don't know if I like this car, but part of it was learning how to adapt to that, and me as a driver figuring out, do I want to do the rolling one or learn how to do the one pedal driving? So, yeah, I mean, it's so much easier. Gas cars, it's weird. It gets a little annoying to actually push the brakes and stuff.
So do you think there's a certain stigma with Tesla drivers?
If there is, I don't know what it is. I see the comments all the time, like, oh, typical, like,
Tesla
insinuating, like Tesla drivers.
Stereotype.
And, sometimes I want to, like, okay, what is that? Because, I mean, I could probably Google it, but I don't know. But I don't want to assume. I was going to say something. Something.
No, I noticed. I mean, I noticed it too. Like, even in news articles, it's like if there's an accident, it'd be like Tesla driver or
Anything that you
Sunday driver at Tesla.
anything with a Tesla, they'll throw it out there. 'Cause
Yeah.
It becomes a media thing, right?
But then it's like if it's a Toyota or a Ford or
They don't
something,
mention
it
it.
wouldn't say Ford driver crashed his car. Like why? Like I don't understand that at all.
Media? I don't know. I don't know. Fake news? I don't know how that goes. I think anything to tie Tesla or Elon and all of that. Again, I don't know the politics of all of that stuff, but
I feel like it's weird.
I do notice it. Like even with if a car is on fire, if it's a Tesla on fire, blah blah blah. But if it's a regular car, it might not even get mentioned.
Yeah.
So
Or even like other EV brands. I don't know. Like they don't say Mustang Mach E on
Mhm.
fire. Like it's always like
Chevy Volts got shit.
huh?
The Chevy Volts.
Yeah.
Those got a lot of.
Really?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's the Yeah,
They're like blowing
those
up
were
garages.
so a lot of places have signs. I think even condos and businesses, if it's in parking garages and stuff, it's like if you have one of those Chevy Bolts, was it? Bolts. Yeah, like you're not even allowed to park there because
Racist.
it had the potential of catching on fire.
I'm sure they had a recall and they probably fixed that problem, right?
Hopefully.
Well, like Tesla, so Tesla gets recalls, but people don't realize that like the recall is not like it's not your typical recall. You can literally just update it. It'll be updated in the software to fix anything, which is kind of nice. So the cars, even though I mean like mine's is a 2022, I think Mike's is a 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few changes with some things that he doesn't currently have or can't get because of his first model. But almost everything else is software related and he can update his car to be pretty much exactly like the newest, even like a 2024 Model Y.
Yeah.
So that's the nice thing about it.
It's like an iPhone update.
Yeah.
Technology, man. Here I am with my 1990 Accord trying to freaking work a CD player. What are your future goals going forth with the car?
Future goals, I currently don't have any. I've done a lot so quickly in the beginning that I think I got most of the things I have done. There's things I could do, but I don't think timing wise it's not for me. I believe every car guy has families and stuff, so that's kind of where I'm here too, is focusing on family.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there. Yeah, my other halves is they've been as supportive as can be, I guess you could say. So there's a balance that you have to do. So my car is good. I mean, looks good.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all it is. There's things I could do, like easily like more interior, like sounds and stuff, but it's just a daily too. So
Scary with those wheels. 30 series on a daily. Damn. Function or form?
what is that?
Like function as in like you do modifications for the function of your car, or do you do it just because like it looks
It's strictly just looks. Yeah,
form?
it's always
It's always been form.
It's always been form.
Yeah.
Which is nice with this. We don't have to worry about a motor and stuff. That'd be more money going into that. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm older. I don't really race and stuff as compared to our younger days.
That's true.
So it's quick. Like all you need is to get in front of people, merging and switching lanes and stuff. And if you really want to catch up to people, it's so easy.
I've raced a lot of people with my Tesla. It's nice.
You can. Your setup can. But setup's a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So
But I'm all about form too. I mean, if I really was about function, I'd be getting some lightweight racing wheels and, you know. But I like styling. I like looking sleek and having the car laid out. Your top 3 favorite wheels.
I'm not even into wheels, man. Like, to be honest, I've been so out of the car. I don't even know if I was ever really in the car game per se. It's just, I just do it to do it, and I like what I like, kind of stuff. So, if I see something that I like, then that's what I'll stick with.
Okay. Do you have any crazy race or police stories?
Back in the days, I had a few like freeway, highway racings and stuff. It's just your usual being a younger guy, being a little bit more irresponsible or showing off and stuff. But luckily, nothing's ever happened. I mean, I seen the first episode. That guy had a lot of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, well, race sauce got even a lot of illegal, illicit activities.
Nothing compared to them, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've raced a few. I've cut people off. I've done things and whatever, but always ended up safe. No big accidents like that.
That's cool. That's good.
Cop stories. It was a name that was very synonymous with Waikiki and getting pulled over. This guy would always whatever. So this is back in the clubbing days. you hop from one place, 2 o'clock closes down. We go to Waikiki. It was what was it like by Zanzibar area? Where it always
Section 45.
yeah, there's always places around there. You go
Yeah.
4 o'clock. So I was pretty trashed. Driving. I think back then I had a 2000 GS,
Okay.
Lexus GS. And even back then, I think what 20s were pretty big. So I had 20s on my car. And then I got pulled over by him on one of the side streets, the one that goes right up into the parking structure,
Okay.
off of like what Royal Hawaiian or whatever. Um, got pulled over. I was just worried because I was
Drunk.
I drank. But long story short, I got let off. It was fine. Other people saw me. Went up, parked, went to the club, drank. And then I think internet back then you could still search things. So I think I searched up tickets just out of curiosity. You look up stuff, and then I saw like that time that he might have gave me a ticket for something because something was documented.
Yeah.
But then like it was that guy, like fun. And I was like, I heard you could like almost never get away from that guy, or like, let alone if you're like DUI or something too. But yeah, I guess I kind of lucked out with that. So
Jeez, because I got pulled over him. Yeah. I was walking to the beach with my bodyboard, and he like was like, "Hey, did you get out of that green car?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "Go back to your car right now." And I had to walk like 150 feet, and he ended up pulling me over for clear corners, no recon, like no front plate, just a slew of tickets. I was just like, dude, I'm like already going to the beach. Like,
jeez. Okay, now I remember a few more after you say that. I did when I had my Civic. I was on my lunch break at home and I was driving back to work, and my work was so close, but I got pulled over by a guy that saw me another time that he tried to get me. So he was at the light, busted a U-turn. And back then it's like, oh, I'll just go to the mall parking lot because it's private property. They can't do nothing.
yeah.
I pulled in. I think the initial reason was like no front license plate kind of stuff. But I had a baseball bat in my front seat area by the door, and it wasn't for anything malicious or nothing like
Yeah.
that. So I was playing softball stuff or whatever with like church people that I don't do church stuff, but I had friends that were in Hope Chapel or something.
Okay.
So he's all like trying to get me on all these stuff, whatever, and he wants to ask me about the bat. I'm like, he's like, why do you have that bat? Whatever. I'm like, bro, I don't know, like softball for Hope Chapel. He's like, don't lie to me, like I don't know. They just cops always have a shrug on their shoulder, or like a chip on their shoulder. But yeah, he started accusing me of. He's like, oh, don't lie, you take that bat to gunfights, and I'm like I'm in like high school. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean a gunfight? He's like, yeah, I don't lie. I know you take it to gunfights.
Why would you bring a bat to a gunfight in the first place?
I was like, man, I think I would probably use it that.
Yeah.
It made no sense. Yeah.
So what did he do? I mean, did he give you a ticket?
I think he gave me a ticket for like probably 10 and no front license plate. Another one was on Leaky Leaky. I'm originally from the Windward side and going late night drinking, coming back home. Town Bound was closed, so I was just booking it back to the Windward side, and the cops were outside of the tunnel, busted a U-turn. I tried to brake as much as I could until I saw the lights, and then I got pulled over. I was pretty wasted that night too. I actually had to take the walking test and eye test and stuff.
You passed?
I guess so. I mean, he let me go. He just was like, "Where you live? Just go home." But he caught me the next day. I think. A rookie guy caught me, and then he was coming up on the scene as well. And then he's like, he saw me, I saw him. He's like, "You again?" The first thing I said, I was like, "Oh man, I'm not drinking." And this is daytime.
Okay.
And he let that guy just go down the list. So I think I got about 7 tickets for that one.
7?
Yeah. This was in my GS, I think. So it was like tinted windows, like from
What year was this about?
probably like 21 or 22, maybe. Or no, I was drinking, so maybe like 22, 23, or maybe 21.
That's how old you were?
Yeah.
What year about?
Oh, 2001 to 2003, maybe.
That's about the time. I always ask people like, do you feel like cops are like on a mission around that era?
They were. I got pulled over just being behind some. Well, one solo biker pulled me and somebody else over at the same time. Um, and then yeah, man, it's just opened the window and that guy was so mad at I don't know what. Like, literally, spit was on coming on my face. Like it's just it was a lot harder back then. I feel now they're a little bit more.
Lenient?
Yeah,
Like I bet you probably never got.
I haven't gotten some anything.
Yeah. I feel like cops nowadays like, you know, like back in the day they were on a mission to get you if you had a modified Japanese car.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 10. No front plate, exhaust too loud, no recon.
No recon, right?
Um, any, if you could give any advice to the future you, what would it be
For cars?
for cars?
And just get what you want. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of us like back then. I was fortunate. My first car, my parents found me my car, but all the mods and stuff, I worked for it. I've worked since high school. And there's so many options now, but like there's so much more power in cars now too. But advice for them is just get what you want. It doesn't matter. Same thing with like what I got this. I didn't know there's so much Tesla hate, but it's there. Now
One
it's just
Tesla crime, one hater at a time.
it's just you learn as you go, but I mean whatever. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It's like same thing. I have a 5-year-old, so
Yeah.
5-year-old going on 15, basically. But you just try to teach him good, and when the time comes, whatever he wants, just get what you want, man.
Yeah. Big shout outs. I mean,
Yeah. Thanks for Team Ruin EV. I mean, didn't expect to get in it, but we're able to represent that here on the shout outs to basically cars and coffee people, the Ohana Motorsports. I'll frequent those things. Probably I've done a few car shows. Those guys are always nice. I don't mind going to actually just those meets and stuff.
I know the EV, the Tesla guys have a big showing in Cars and Coffee all the time. And you guys even sponsor giveaways and stuff, right?
Yeah, we recently started doing that. So it was maybe about 4 of us in the beginning from when I got this car. I met a couple of them, and then my plan was never to go out and do shows or actually maybe for the car to even be like this. It just kind of you tweak out, you find things, you start doing things, you meet people.
Yeah.
And then, but first and foremost, it's for myself. I do this for myself. I don't care what other people think. It's a bonding thing too when I take my son with me. So, if I go to Cars and Coffees, you usually see me with my son there.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, it was 4 of us. Slowly grew. Everybody has lives. There's occasions where there will be a good amount of us, like 8 to 10, but it started out very slow. I mean, I don't think we're too receptive at the Cars and Coffees in the beginning. Like people would probably laugh or like, oh, what is this? Oh,
Or these Teslas.
Tesla, whatever. But we were pretty consistent on going. I guess we help out a lot. We build relations with like Battery Bill. He's about batteries, electric cars. One of our guys, John, and a few other them suggested like, why don't we try giving back? So, Cars and Coffee does giveaways and raffles, right? Ironically, a lot of the Tesla guys win the gas cards, which is not so great with the
When you have a Tesla.
yeah. But we tried. We have gas cards.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a $50 gas card will help us out. But recently, so a lot of the last several ones that I went, I've probably had them. I just didn't accept it. I gave it back maybe about 3 times already. And I don't have to do it, but I think it was just to show good standings of like, we just want to be cool guys. We're car guys is the
Just
next
like
person.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just because we have a Tesla doesn't mean any less. But I gave it back because I want those guys. They're hungry for that car. So
put gas.
give it back.
Yeah.
And so I've done that.
Pay it forward, man.
Recently, hopefully that some of the guys are like, oh, why'd you do that? Just keep it. But I'm like, maybe they'll like us a little bit better, a little bit more acceptance. So that's part of the reason why I did it. And then now that we started contributing, we also have given gas cards for them to give out, or little battery power banks for like your cell phone or whatever.
That's good. I mean, definitely, a positive step in the community rather than hating on a certain type of arts and building relationships and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I want to thank you for doing this interview,
Thanks for having me.
giving us some insight on the whole EV game, and you're definitely doing something right with this. And big fan of your car. Ruin's been an inspiration for me. I was telling Mike, Ruin had played out when I started researching Teslas.
Mhm.
That's who I seen online, and definitely like trend setting, and two crews I looked up to. So, hopefully, I hope people in the car community can understand like EV is something that is like here to stay,
Mhm.
and there's room for it, and not so much focus on hating on it.
It's just another option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people are afraid of change, but I mean, the world is always changing.
It's like mac salad or rice.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you like gas cars, then go buy a gas car. If you like EVs, go get an EV. Too much people hate, and
but fun fact, there's a lot of people that have gas cars that also have a Tesla, and you just don't know it.
like me. I love my gas cars. I love my EV. I love the technology and it makes my life so much easier. Just, I'll take that thing anywhere, and I love it. I mean, me and my wife were just talking about what we're gonna get next. We were thinking about getting X, and then I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, cool. Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I got a gift for you. 310. Or we can cut it. Oh, is that it? See you guys later. Wait. This is why we have editing. Thank you for being here with us, and we'll catch you on the next episode